Good evening and welcome to Doordarshan Kendra Kohima. I'm Ila Susan with the news. First, the headlines. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman presents the Union Budget 2026-2027. Finance Minister keeps income tax rates and slabs unchanged following last year's tax reforms. Union Home Minister Amit Shah alleges West Bengal government of threatening Matwa and Namasudra community. And Desi Rewind from Mokokchung wins the fusion of the bands 3. And now the news in detail. The Union Budget 2026-27, presented by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, lays out an ambitious yet fiscally disciplined roadmap for India's next phase of development, anchored in youth empowerment, inclusive growth, and economic resilience. The first budget prepared in the newly inaugurated Gardavya Bhavan it is inspired by 3 guiding principles, or Gardavya, that seeks to accelerate growth, to fulfill people's aspirations and ensure equitable development under the vision of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. Describing the budget as Yuva Shakti driven, the Finance Minister emphasized the government's unwavering sankalp to uplift the poor, the underprivileged and disadvantaged, even as India navigates a challenging global environment marked by disrupted supply chains, weakened multilateralism and rapid technological change. The first Gardavya focuses on accelerating and sustaining economic growth by boosting productivity, competitiveness and resilience. The second Gardavya seeks to fulfill people's aspirations and build the capacities, enabling citizens to become active partners in India's growth journey. The third Gardavya, aligned with Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, aims to ensure that every region, sector and community has access to opportunities and resources. The Finance Minister highlighted that over 350 reforms announced after the Prime Minister's Independence Day address in 2025, ranging from GST simplification to labour reforms and deregulation, have already been rolled out, with centre and states working together to reduce compliance burdens. Under the first Gardavya, the budget proposes targeted interventions across 6 priority areas, including strategic manufacturing, MSME growth, infrastructure, energy security and city-led economic development. A major highlight is Biopharma Shakti, a 10,000 crore initiative to position India as a global hub for biologics and biosimilars. The program includes setting up 3 new NIPERs, upgrading 7 existing ones, creating over 1,000 clinical trial sites and strengthening the drug regulator to global standards. For the textile sector, a comprehensive integrated program was announced covering natural and man-made fibers, traditional clusters, handloom and handicrafts, sustainable textiles and skilling under Samart 2.0. Recognizing MSMEs as engines of growth, a 10,000 crore SME growth fund was proposed to nurture future champion enterprises. In related news, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman today kept income tax rates and slabs unchanged following last year's major tax reforms. While the basic tax structure remains the same, the Finance Minister, presenting the budget 26-27, announced several measures aimed at simplifying tax compliance and providing relief to the taxpayers. She proposed extending the timeline for revising income tax returns from December 31st to March 31st with a nominal fee. Sitharaman also suggested staggered deadlines for filing returns. Individuals using ITR 1 and ITR 2 will continue to file by July the 31st, while non-audit business cases and trusts will have time until August the 31st. To benefit the taxpayers further, any interest awarded by the Motor Accident Claims Tribunal to an individual will now be exempt from income tax, and the corresponding TDS will be removed. NRIs providing capital goods to Indian companies will also enjoy income tax exemption for a period of 5 years. The finance minister proposed changes to the tax collection at source (TCS) rates, reducing the rates on the sale of overseas to packages from 5% and 20% to 2% without any minimum amount. Similarly, TCS on education and medical expenses under the liberalized remittance scheme, or the LRS, will drop from 5% to 2%. To make compliance easier for small taxpayers, a new rule-based automated system will allow obtaining a lower or nil deduction certificate without filing an application with the assessing officer. The Union Budget 2026-27 has unveiled a series of measures aimed at accelerating growth in India's electronics and information technology sectors, including the launch of India Semiconductor Mission (ISM 2.0), an enhanced outlay for electronics manufacturing, and tax reforms to provide greater certainty to the IT and ITES industry. Presenting the budget in Parliament on Sunday, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced that ISM 2.0 will focus on producing semiconductor equipment and materials, designing full-stack Indian intellectual property, and also strengthening supply chains. The initiative will emphasize industry-led research and training centers to build advanced technologies and a skilled workforce. An allocation of 1,000 crore has been provided for ISM 2.0 in financial year 26 to 27, building on the progress made under ISM 1.0. To capitalize on strong investor interest in electronics manufacturing, the budget proposes to increase the outlay for the Electronics Components Manufacturing Scheme (ECMS) to 40,000 crore rupees. The scheme, launched in April 2025, has already attracted investment commitments at more than double its initial target. In a significant move to support India's IT sector and to provide tax certainty, the budget introduces new safe harbor provisions for IT and ITES services with higher thresholds and competitive margins. Under the proposal, software development services, IT-enabled services, knowledge process outsourcing, and contract R&D services will be clubbed under a single category of information technology services with a common safe harbor margin of 15.5%. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today hailed the budget 2026-27 and described it as historic. In a video message, Mr. Modi said this budget is the foundation for country's journey towards a Viksit Bharat by 2047. He said the budget reflects the aspirations of the 140 crore Indians and strengthens the reform journey and charts a clear roadmap for Viksit Bharat. He said this year's budget will give India's reform express new energy and new momentum.
कंट्रोल करने पर फोकस है और इसके साथ ही बजट में हाई कैपेक्स और हाई ग्रोथ का भी समन्वय है। युवा शक्ति बजट है, उसमें युवा की सोच भी है, युवा के सपने भी हैं, युवा का संकल्प भी है और साथ साथ युवा की गति भी है। बजट में जो प्रावधान किए गए हैं उससे अलग अलग सेक्टर्स में लीडर्स, इनोवेटर्स और क्रिएटर्स तैयार होंगे। मेडिकल हब्स के निर्माण से, एलाइड हेल्थ प्रोफेशनल्स के माध्यम से, ऑरेंज इकोनॉमी यानी ऑडियो विजुअल गेमिंग को बढ़ावा देकर, पर्यटन को प्रोत्साहन देकर और खेलो इंडिया मिशन के
And now let's go for a short break.
पापा, फीस ज्यादा है।
बेटा,
याद है बोनस के कुछ पैसे हमने दूसरे खाते में रखे थे?
2 साल से खाते में कोई लेन देन नहीं हुआ है, शायद इनऑपरेटिव हो गया होगा।
तो अब बैंक जाके या वीडियो केवाईसी से केवाईसी अपडेट कराओ, खाता होगा एक्टिव एकदम फ्री। चलो
कहाँ?
एडमिशन कराने। खाता हुआ एक्टिव।
आरबीआई कहता है
जानकार बनिए, सतर्क रहिए।
And welcome back. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal has asserted that with the India-EU Free Trade Agreement, India's exports to the European Union can double in 5 years. Goyal also urged business persons, MSMEs, startups and entrepreneurs to focus on going international. The minister said this while sharing his interviews with prominent national dailies in a series of social media posts. The minister highlighted how the trade deal will benefit the country in different ways. The minister said that India-EU agreement is a powerful FTA that will unlock major opportunities for India while protecting the country's sensitive sectors. The second India-Arab foreign ministers meeting is underway in New Delhi. The meeting is co-chaired by India and the UAE. Foreign ministers of Arab League member states and Arab League Secretary General are participating in the meeting. This is the first India-Arab foreign ministers meeting to be hosted by India in New Delhi. The event is witnessing the participation of all 22 Arab nations. Ahead of the foreign ministers meeting, the fourth India-Arab senior officials meeting was held in the national capital yesterday. The second India-Arab foreign ministers meeting is expected to build on existing cooperation, expanding and deepening the partnership. NCP Working President Praful Patel and State Chief Sunil Tatkare today met Sunetra Pawar at Devgiri, the official residence of late Ajit Pawar in Mumbai, ahead of the legislature party meeting. Speaking to reporters, Sunil Tatkare informed that the legislature party meeting will be held this afternoon at the Vidhan Bhavan office, where Sunetra Pawar is expected to be formally elected as the leader of the legislative party. He added that as the state chief of the NCP, he, along with other leaders, will then meet Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis with the official letter regarding the party's decision, following which the Chief Minister will take a further decision. Senior BJP leader and Union Home Minister Amit Shah has alleged that the West Bengal government is threatening the Matwa and Namasudra community. Addressing a workers' conference at Anandpuri Playground in Barakpur in North 24 Parganas, he said the Matwa and Namasudra communities have no reason to be afraid. He stated that no matter how much the state government opposes the SIR process, it will continue in the state. He alleged that due to the state government's non-cooperation, the fencing could not be erected in the border area of the state. In state news, Desi Rewind from Mukchung emerged as the winner of Fusion of the Bands 3 2026, a Hindi music talent hunt organized by the 3 Corps of the Indian Army under Operation Sadbhavna. The grand finale, held at Bhagat Stadium, Rangapahar Military Station, witnessed performances by 6 finalist bands before a large audience. A.K. Bhala graced the event as the chief guest. Also present were the General Officer Commanding of the 3 Corps, Spear Corps, Lieutenant General Abhijit S. Pendarkar, and former Governor and Chief Minister Dr. S.C. Jamir. Desi Rewind took home a cash prize of 3 lakhs. Jack in the Box secured the first runners-up position with 2.5 lakh, while Nikato Tamang and the band finished second runners-up, winning 1.5 lakhs. The finals were judged by Bethel, director of Mountain Music Academy, Arun Long, guitarist, and Akam Jamir, proprietor of Crescendo. The competition followed a 3-stage selection process. The preliminary round, conducted online on January 24, saw 35 bands auditioning from across Nagaland. After a rigorous screening, 12 bands, After Party, NTTB, Suhani, Desi Rewind, Sonder, Rock Revolt, Jack in the Box, The Muse, The Rusty Garden, Riff Collective, Symphonia and Midnight Radio were shortlisted for the semi-finals by a jury comprising Muatem Sir, guitarist and vocalist of the DGP band, Younger Tushi, deputy commandant, ITBP and singer-songwriter, and Alem Alia Jamir, proprietor of the Tribes Entertainment. The semi-finals were held live at Manekshaw Auditorium, Rangapahar on January 29th, from which After Party, NTTB, The Muse, Rock Revolt, Jack in the Box and Desi Rewind advanced to the finals. And now for the weather report.
Kohima today recorded a maximum temperature of 21 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 6 degrees Celsius, while Dimapur had a maximum temperature of 27 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 10 degrees Celsius. Wokha experienced a maximum temperature of 23 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 9 degrees Celsius. Mokokchung had a maximum temperature of 23 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 7 degrees Celsius. Mon had a maximum temperature of 24 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 10 degrees Celsius. Towards the east, Twinsang had a maximum temperature of 19 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 4 degrees Celsius. Zinabuto had a maximum temperature of 20 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 5 degrees Celsius. Phak had a maximum temperature of 19 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 4 degrees Celsius. That's all for the weather report.
And with this, we have come to the end of this news bulletin. Have a good evening.